Cafe
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Can you believe now that I have done 11 podcasts in a row?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Right? It's been 10. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty good, Mike. Because for a while I wasn't doing it. For a while it was like a fortnight. But now I'm not going to mention any other famous video games. I'm just going to sing the rest of this song to you because it's lame. And it's because Mike has gotten back to doing
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A daily podcast, not a weekly podcast that happened for a while. Not a bi-weekly.
Mike's
Is it bi-weekly?
Daily
That always gets me confused.
Podcast.
Is bi-weekly twice a week?
Yeah.
Or every 2 weeks? I get really confused with that because that's like, we're going to take money out of your paycheck bi-weekly. What the? Twice a week? No, bi-weekly. So is that twice a... I don't... Sporadically. Okay, then I understand what you're saying, but... Well, welcome to the show today. We're going to cover some topics that include knitting, fabrics, cat. No, we're going to talk about cats. But you saw a picture of Rodler, the cat that's been hanging out with us the past couple of weeks, and we basically saved this cat. So you might be asking yourself, the swimming hat for afro hair that was barred for use in the international competitions and the Olympics, an official body has barred the use of swimming hats specifically designed for afro hair in competitions. It said elite athletes don't require caps of such size. They've been barred from the Olympics as the official body says elite athletes neither required to use caps of such size. Interesting. Now, I have not worn a hat like this, but then again, I have no hair, so I have no need for it, but that's a controversy.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's a horse. Of course. This horse, I think his name's Lucky. Or is it Princess? It lives up in the Podcaster Valley Hills. And when you go walking on one of the trails there, he's always around, and I hope he's still there. I haven't been up. This picture was taken a couple months back. But it's in the Podcaster Valley Hills, and we are broadcasting from Podcaster Valley Mont today, the last place on Earth, cafe anyway. Parades are back, and the streets of Paris, New York, and Tel Aviv were awash with rainbows. Was this yesterday? Oh. Over the weekend. Basil. He met this horse, I think. I think I have a picture of this horse sniffing Basil. It's pretty good. The late, great Basil the boxer, everyone. Here we are, the first day of July. That's right, Basil. Gosh, so Basil died in the month of July last year. And so we're coming up on that in a couple of weeks, that anniversary, that sad anniversary. But I remember last 4th of July, he was still alive. And I was like, I'm not going to leave this dog's side. Because at this point, he couldn't walk anymore because of the degenerative myelopathy. And I said, I don't want him to feel scared with the fireworks going off. So my lovely lady friend and I hung out with him all night. Back to my story earlier. Just had random memories that flood your brain of lost ones that you've had to say goodbye to. There are lots of other pride flags now as various groups under the LGBT plus umbrella create their own to represent themselves. So you might be a bit confused. It's not the only one anymore. The original flag had 8 stripes and debuted during San Francisco Pride in 1978. It was designed by Gilbert Baker and commissioned by Harvey Milk. Gilbert said he was inspired by Judy Garland's song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's the rainbow effect. Before it could go into mass production, alterations had to be made. A lack of pink fabric led to an uneven flag, and so it was reduced to the 6 stripes that we know today. And the 6 colors represent something. The red color means life. The orange color means healing. I guess that's like is that pink? I don't know what that color is. What's the color of white people have this pigment? That color. Not quite completely white, not quite completely pink, somewhere in there. Sunlight is the color there. Nature, the green color that's in the flags. Blue color means serenity. And the purple color, spirit. So that is a story I wanted to pass along to you here on this first day of July. The celebrity couples with the biggest age differences. There's one celebrity couple which has an age gap of 39 years. Let's see. That one is, is it Florence Pugh and Zach Braff? Really? Florence is the new, is it Pug or Poog? So that's how much I am into popular culture. Well, I don't know if it's popular culture. It's definitely entertainment culture. 21 years. Wow. Zach Braff is younger than me. And for some reason, I didn't think he was even considered older. When you think of May, December romances, perhaps you think of Robert Redford and someone younger. But nope, Zach Braff there. Scrubs guy. So Florence is the new princess of Hollywood. And there we go. The 62-year-old megastar, that's Madonna, is dating professional choreographer and dancer Alamalek Williams. If I try that a couple more times, I'd probably say it correctly. Alamalek is 27 and was a backup dancer on the Madam X tour. And let's see. Oh, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They have an 11-year age gap. Matthew McConaughey and Camilla Alves, 14 years. Then there is Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's 12 years. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it. We're going to talk about fabric now. Feel-good fabrics. A big part of running a business is operating in an environmentally responsible manner. Berkshire Blanket and Home Company has developed EcoThread, a fabric manufacturing process that uses less water than traditional processes. I am wearing a new shirt that my lovely lady friend gave me, and it is linen. By Linen. And the rest of this is a total pro Costco connection type article, and I pulled it from the Costco connection. So I say no. I will not read the rest of this. Hey, here's something that I have been thinking about a lot lately, and that is I need to learn another language. So here are some tips how to learn a language, something to help you. Maybe because to me, learning a language seems insurmountable. I can't do it. I cannot learn a language. It's too difficult. But here are some tips. Use your target language as much as you can. Many people say, and put yourself in a situation where growth is inevitable. If you give yourself an option of using your language skills, chances are you'll choose not to use them. Our brain will instinctively choose the decision that's simple and requires less thought. Like acquiring any new skill, learning a new language is going to require strong will. You must consciously lock yourself out of your comfort zone and not allow yourself to step back inside it for a while. It's not an easy decision and may require some creative thought, but the results are well worth the effort. Use your target language as much as you can. Many people say the best way to learn a new language is by living in the country. That is not true. More often than not, when you're in that country, the natives will still want to practice their English skills when they see you. We live in a world where English is a desirable and lucrative skill to have, so most foreign countries will have an English-speaking population, especially around the larger city. In this situation, growth isn't inevitable. It's still optional. But it is truly possible to keep ourselves in a situation where we have no choice but to use our language skills. So, here's what, bring the language home to you. There are plenty of ways to make learning unavoidable. Some of these might include switching your cell phone or social media to the language you are studying. Committing yourself to a language group or finding a conversation partner. You may even try visual cues by taping a list of new words to your bathroom and kitchen walls. Interesting. I have heard people listening to a particular type of music that's in a different language. You can learn words that way. Maybe watching a TV show and have the subtitles on. That can help. Find your saturation point through immersion. An excellent method for making fast progress is an intensive immersion. And yes, you can achieve this wherever you are. The key is not to ease up one bit on the target language. Make every area of your life part of your language program. That means you should listen to the news and music in the language, speak only the language, just make every option available only in the target language. Create a period of relentless study and so much language it feels like on-site immersion. And when you think you can't stand one bit of more of the language, that's the time to intensify your study. Wow. So, value fluency over accuracy. Fluency is the ability to express oneself easily and articulately. It means using the language smoothly in real time. Accuracy, on the other hand, is the ability to be correct and precise. It means communicating without any grammatical, vocabulary, tonal, and other efforts. You can be fluent in a language without having 100% accuracy. Alternately, you can have language accuracy while still not being anywhere near fluent. The ultimate goal when learning a new language is to use it fluently, not accurately. Focus on usability, not thoroughness. Language cannot be learned from a textbook alone. Instead, focus on learning practical colloquial topics and work your way from there. Start speaking right away. Begin speaking immediately. Just dive in. Replace cramming with a spaced repetition. And this website says software. And I should mention this is from the website fluentu.com. That's the letter U. Fluent and then u.com has that suggestion. I bring up learning a language because I don't think you truly learn your own world or the world in which we live and learn a lot about your own culture that you grew up in until you learn a different language and you learn someone else's culture. It's like stepping outside of the walls of your life, of your world, and you learn a lot more. It's like a fish being pulled out of a goldfish bowl and then seeing the world from outside of the goldfish bowl and then dying. That's not a good idea. Don't pull a goldfish out of a bowl. But you get the idea. There's so much we should see that we don't see. We our periphery, our perspective. We need another perspective is all I'm saying. Same thing I was talking about last podcast about looking at old photos, looking at old pictures and how important it is to hang on to old pictures because they show us where we've been, pictures of ourselves, places that we've been, things that we've done. Because in the current moment, we may go, I can't do this. I've never done anything like this before. Oh no, that's not true. You did something exactly like this before. And it was a while back, but you forgot about it because our memories are so short. We really do. We have such short, horrible memories. Now, I have a pretty good one. My lovely lady friend points that out to me often, but I think on the whole, we have horrible memories. We're already revising what happened on January 6th, for example. We're revising everything about the last president. Do you remember that the president wanted us to take the vaccine? There's a lot of people that are pro-Trump that are like, oh, no, he was always against taking the vaccine. And he always believed you shouldn't wear masks. No, there was a time he was defending the practice of wearing masks. And suddenly we live in a world where, nope, masks are bad. Masks have always been a Democrat ploy, a liberal ploy. But that's because we live in a world where every second is being revised by people talking about it and revising it for us on the internet. And yeah, you get the idea. We got to be aware of that and got to be conscious of that and realize our perspective is manipulated by the internet if we immerse ourselves too much in the internet. So I think we should be wary of some of these things. But we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. And look who's here.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. It's a cute picture of your cat, Mike Matthews.
Yes, do you know any other languages?
Yes, I know several languages.
Oh. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman.
And this is John Deere, the engineer. You didn't want to ask Chely Shoehart a follow-up question.
No, I did not want to find out what languages she knows. Maybe she didn't say that at all. Maybe I just revised history and she wasn't even here.
Stop that, Mike Matthews. You're doing that retcon thing.
Yeah, retconning. There's a lot of retcon going on in this world. We just got to be aware of that. Okay, remember, those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Thank you so much for listening to FF episode 2263. If you would like to chime in about any of the topics we covered today, you can call me at 336-MM-DAILY. That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast has been now for 11 days. Woo! 11 days. How excellent is that? Oh, I forgot. Dang it. Oh. Here's something real quick. 2 things I keep forgetting to talk about, and I want to throw them out there real quick. One is that we were talking about the world popular culture society a little bit earlier, and about stuff that yours truly probably doesn't know about popular culture. But here's one thing I do know, and that is popular music today. Oh, and there's a guy, Ken, reminded me how much he hates Dave Matthews, and I've talked about that on the podcast about how I think there's lots of other things to hate in this world that are much worse than Mr. Dave Matthews. Especially I have to defend him slightly because we have the same last name. But I don't know who he is. I've never met him. I mean, I know who he is, but I've never met him. I don't know him personally. The thing is that popular music today, if you turn on a popular music station near you, there is entirely too much of this singing like it's baby talk. Like, listen and sing it to. I'm not going to name any specific artists, but there is a lot of this singing style that sounds like you're doing like a boo 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 baby talk. It's total like infantilizing the popular music. There's no maturity. I mean, maybe there's never been maturity in pop music, but I don't remember people actually trying to sound like little babies going goo goo gaga in the kind of. Listen, I'm not explaining this clearly, but it. Do you get a general sense of what I'm saying? It needs to stop. I think when we look back on the early 2020s, we're going to be like, why were they singing? And maybe the late 2010s too. Why were they singing like that? Sorry, darling, did you make It's like they're not using their whole mouth and their lips and all that. All right, someone was just knocking on the window to say I need to wrap it up. They were knocking on the window from inside of cafe anyway, and they said, Mike, end this thing. Okay, I will. Hey, one other thing too. If you ever noticed, somebody pointed this out to me the other day. The IRS, when they want money from you, like you need to pay them, and if you don't, there's all kinds of fees and interest and fines. But if they owe you money, it could take them forever to give you the money, and they don't put any interest on it. Doesn't that stink? All right, a financial guy pointed that out to me.
Wow.
A-Frame, save me.
Hey, if you want cereal or anything else, guys, let me know, okay?
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!